Excellent. Well, welcome to Lancelot's room. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you through a video. I don't know how to mute Patrice. 1 second.
P, mute yourself, P.
Yeah, because I can't see what you see.
Mute yourself, P. Mute.
You're not quite back and forth.
Patrice, I can't mute you, so if you can mute yourself.
Back in the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. But they're also having some recording difficulties. So he hasn't started to speak yet.
But we are recording. So
Hey,
those who are watching a replay, this is just life happening. If you're an entrepreneur, you take a breath and pivot. That's all we do around here. We have 22 minutes on the clock, and so we're going to
all right, go ahead, start it.
We're gonna get it started. Oh, first I share my screen as well.
Right, and get to that. It's like a dot in the middle of the page, and it's gonna say tap to speak. Okay.
It's not right. Sorry.
Okay, call me back. You have to call the house phone because the meeting opened on my cell phone. Okay. All right. Bye.
P, you're on speaker. Everybody can hear you.
Sorry, I'm off now. I'm trying to get moms in.
Thank you for attending the session today. We are honored that you would take your time today to spend with us. We pray that you get out of this session everything you had hoped for and more. From professional athlete to transformational coach and actor, Lancelot Theobald Jr. embodies reinvention. Creator of the Stuck to Unstoppable program and co-star The Veteran, he equips individuals to reclaim identity, confidence, and aligned action. He doesn't just motivate, he holds you accountable until unstoppable becomes who you are. Please help me welcome Lancelot Theobald Jr.
Thank you. We're going to have to speed it up a little bit, but I do appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We're going to be talking about from stuck to unstoppable and what stuck means. And I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to dig down. I want you to be able to participate, because the more you can answer, the more other people can learn from you, as well as myself. So I just ask that for the next hour, not half an hour, I'm sorry, that when we engage with questions, that the best way to do it is answer the questions through the chat, and then we'll go from there. Now, I know a little bit about being stuck. All right. I've been stuck many times, and I've always been able to go from stuck to unstoppable because I follow a certain game plan, a certain structure, for a certain type of uh, uh, structure each and every time that I get stuck. But I remember the first time I got stuck, I was stuck on devastation. And once I got past that, then I understood that stuck was not who I was. It was just where I was at that time. Now, I went all the way across the ocean to an entirely different country to play a game that I loved, because I thought that if I just sacrificed myself, sharpened my skills, and pushed my body a little further, because I was convinced that I just needed to work harder to get that second tryout, that second NFL tryout. Now, first part of my life, I was a football player. That's not what I did. That's how I identified myself. That's who I was. And I was also a survivor of a deadly plane crash, car accident, train accident, almost drowned, and had a friend of mine drown right in front of me. And when some things like that happen within a 6-month period of time, there's ways of looking at it. And I looked at it after having a dream that I was selected. I was a gift from God. I was chosen to do something special. So I always thought that football was the vehicle that I needed and the platform I needed in order to do God's work. And that's to be a beacon of positive light and energy to people around the world. I was told that at 17. So you have to understand, football wasn't just what I played, it was who I was. Not so much for the fanfare, not so much to be a star. I just needed that football, that professionalism, for the platform to do what God wanted me to do. So I went overseas and I got beat up more than I ever got beat up in America. But I did it for the love of the game. And I came back and I got that second tryout. I got the second try. The first tryout was with the New England Patriots. The second tryout was with the New York City Jets. And if for only one moment, everything that I had been through, the thousands of hours of working out and sacrifice, all seemed to make sense. Because I was able for the first time again to be able to reach out and touch my dreams, touch the thing that I wanted so badly. I could smell the grass. I could see the Jets insignia. I can hear the whistle like it was yesterday. And just like that, it was over. I didn't make my second NFL team. It was done. I was devastated. Why was I devastated? Because this wasn't like a bad game or a setback. This was the collapse of my future. My worth and my world were tied up in this thing playing football. I was disoriented. I was stunned. I was stuck on devastation. Now you have to understand that there was no backup plan. There was like, no, well, I'm going to do this now. There was no backup plan because I knew this was what I was supposed to do because God had anointed me. He had chosen me based over all the things that I'd gone through previously to be this beacon of light, and platform was football. So I went home and for weeks I was depressed, didn't know what to do. Then I heard it. I heard it. And it wasn't the noise of fear. It wasn't my ego talking. It was that calm, authoritative voice that I heard when I was 17 years old, when it said, "You've been chosen to be a beacon of positive light and energy to people around the world." That same voice came to me again. And what it said to me was, listen, you're not the biggest, you're not the fastest, but yet you're the only person 3.5 years later got 2 NFL tryouts. 96 to 97% of the football players out there that play football never get 1 tryout. You got 2 tryouts, and then you got paid to play the game you loved in Europe. You have taken your talents as far as they can go. Now it's time for you to get up and figure out what your next platform is, because you have been chosen. You have been chosen to be a beacon of positive light and energy to people around the world. Now get up and find out what you're supposed to do. Now, interestingly enough, I had already been contemplating after about 2 weeks of being depressed. I was thinking about going back to Europe. And see, God knows all. That universe, whatever you believe in, knows everything. And God knew that I was thinking about going back. So it sent a messenger through a good friend of mine by the name of Raymond Smith. And that messenger, my friend, the one person who helped me whenever I needed, when I needed him to drive the car, when I was pushing it, when I needed him to drive the truck, when I was pushing it, when I needed him to pull the band, whatever I needed, he was there for me. And he came to me and he said, "I'm thinking about starting a new business." And we went out to lunch and I thought about it. And the one thing I always understood, and I spoke about this last month when I talked, is about listening to that inner voice and the power of saying yes to opportunity. You have to be able to say yes in order to move forward. And so I thought about it. He had came to me when I was seriously thinking about they called me, offered me a contract to come back. But then I heard that inner voice. I heard that God within me say, "It's time for you to move on." So I said yes. And so I moved on and we started a business. And the first business we had was a t-shirt company, right? And we had 3 t-shirt bangers, street bangers. First, back in the day, the first time Batman came out, that was really big. We came out with Black Man. It was Batman insignia, but on the inside, instead of saying Batman, it said Black Man. And then it had a picture of the guy from Do the Right Thing, Radio Raheem, and it had a chain that said Do the Right Thing. street banger. They bought those by the thousands. We would sell them at on the street. We would sell them at flea markets. Then we came up with, it was a new movie out called Dick Tracy. We came up with Slick Tracy. And then it had a 4-letter ring that said Slick on it. And then it spoke into its phone, which was on its, the phone was on its watch. And we said, we're on our way. Believe that. And we spelt it in Ebonics. That was another street banger. Then my cousin gave me the idea, Mark Theobald gave me the idea of, there used to be a Don't Worry, Be Happy, do. Y'all remember that? Do. All right, and they had the big smiley face. Well, we came up with a big smiley face, and he had a cigarette in his mouth, and it said, Don't worry, fuck it. And everybody bought that one. So the point I'm making is that I had to say yes. I had to listen to the inner voice inside of me in order for me to get the opportunity to say yes. But then I got the opportunity and I did say yes. Then we decided that we were going to be manufacturers of customized sporting apparel. And what did we do? We went back to school at FIT, learned the business. Then my cousin, who was already a designer, introduced me to sewers and graders. And then we actually started manufacturing customized sporting apparel. We had contracts with Princeton University, who the last time they were in the Final Four were wearing our uniforms, which was major. Rutgers, Ramapo College, Wagner College, Holy Cross High School, the Catholic High School Football League. All of that was because I said yes to opportunity. And I listened to that inner voice inside of me. Now, I tell you all of this to let you know that I understand what it feels like in the worst way to go from stuck on devastation to stuck to unstoppable. And every time after that, and I've gotten stuck many times, I knew it was temporary. I knew stuck wasn't who I was. It was where I was right now. So I use the same formula. Every time I do anything, I use the exact same formula in order to move forward. All right. Now, here's where the interactive part comes in. How many people in this room feel stuck right now? I want you to put from 1 to 5, put in the chat if you're feeling stuck right now. From 1 to 5, I want to see it. Anybody? We got Raquel stuck. All right. Anybody else? And 1 to 5. 1 meaning the highest, you're stuck, and 5 meaning you're not that stuck. Okay. Anybody, right in the chat. 3.5. Okay. All right. Now, my next question would be,
I recently helped a couple buy their dreams.
Where do you feel most stuck at right now?
They were able to buy
And write that in the chat.
so easy.
And remember, we need participation for this to go the way we want.
All over the country. I feel safe leaving the house without
Where do you feel stuck at right now?
a banana with me. That same car has been sitting outside my house for a
All
while.
right. Nobody's answering. Okay. Well,
Barbara wants to answer, and maybe
Okay.
it's such an intimate room. Barbara, if you can come off mute and talk, and let's talk about
okay.
it.
Let's talk about it. Okay, Barbara, where do you feel stuck right now?
I was able to get in this past season the shift that I made to doing more what I loved and to doing, following my dreams and passions. Like I made a really good, successful pivot from doing one thing with my life to following a dream and a passion. That was an entire season. And now I'm in a new season. And I'm still trying to process going from that. It's like letting go of the dream and passion to make a pivot to another season I'm a little like stuck about that because I don't really want to let go of that dream and passion, but for a myriad of reasons, what I was doing is, you know what I mean? I'm trying to understand how to pivot and move to a new season without moving away from dreams and passions.
So you're stuck in a situation where you love what you're doing right now, but you have a feeling that you need to move to something else?
No, I'm saying that the season started to, I'm still loving what I do, but I'm doing it in a different way. I was in a performing group, as you well
Right.
know. They
Yeah.
don't perform anymore. So my dream and passion of doing that performing group that went on for 25 years. So it was a very fulfilling pivot. It was fantastic. How am I managing myself and all the things
Right.
without performing? And do I need to find some other avenue to fill the same cup that performing did? And I'm a little bit stuck about how to do that. I want to continue to fill that cup because I'm good at that now, understanding
Mhm.
that there is a cup. I'm
And you have
understanding
to
how to
fill it.
fill it. And now that cup, and I have to fill a cup again a different way. And I'm struggling with that a little bit.
You're struggling with what's the next thing to fill a cup with
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
same time?
And
Because
can you fill it in the same way without doing that?
no, you do all things. You do what you
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
I'll give you an example. And I know Barbara very well. We have a group together, Moms in the Hood. They perform, they're famous, they're known all over the world. And now we're not performing, but we are together every week. I'll give you an example with myself. I continue to fill my cup and keep the other cup full because there's 24 hours in the day. And if you're feeling like you love this, but you need more, then you figure out what that more is and then you go after it. One of the things I do every day is I work on, it's called a transformational blueprint. I work on bettering me 1% each and every day. I wake up 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning with the purpose of finding what I'm going to do today to own my own respect. All right. Trying to find what can I do today to continue to grow. You know what I mean? So you keep what you're already doing and then you add something else that you love to do. This is the most important thing is to find out what you love and then do it and then surround yourself around people that are doing what you're doing. That's one of the things that I did that I'm so proud of myself. Last year, I was not in this arena at all. I didn't even know what this was. It wasn't until I made a conscious choice to introduce myself and meet new people. That one decision brought me here today because then I started surrounding myself around people that were accomplishing what I really wanted to accomplish. Now, I've known my entire life that speaking was something that I was going to do because I was a beacon of positive light and energy to people around the world. Now, you have to understand, I'm an actor, I'm a choreographer, you know all of this. And last year in particular was a great year for me. Why? Because we had just finished a film that wound up getting all kind of it won at the Cannes Film Festival. It's got over 1 million views as an independent film. And then I also landed the lead in another movie that's coming out in a couple of weeks. So last year was a great year for me. But yet I was feeling stuck. How did I know I was stuck? Because that inner voice was speaking to me. You're not, I don't care what kind of success you're doing. You're not living in what you're put on this earth for. And you need to do something about that. And I made one decision I introduced myself to everybody that came to a premiere that I had for the movie, Security Guard. And I met Brandon Godoris. Brandon Godoris is the person who's sponsoring this event today. I met him at that event. We spoke later, and the rest is history. I never gave up the acting. I'm still doing the acting, but now I'm doing something else that is closer to what I was put on this earth for. And that is to be a beacon of positive light and energy to people around the world. And we don't have time. We are at the latter part of our life. So we must do everything in our power to move forward and surround ourselves with people that are doing what we're doing. Create your own environment. You know what I mean? You know exactly what you want, and you continue to, because we get together every week. Why? Because that fulfills you. Now you know there's a voice inside of you that is saying you need to do more. Figure out what that more is, and then create the environment around you to get that done. You know what I mean? Because you are all you need to get everything that you want in your life. And you know this already. It's just about being around the people that are doing what you're doing. Anybody else?
I just want to go ahead and before we continue, we have about 3 minutes left. Unfortunately, this has been such an amazing conversation, but I wanted to make sure that I don't know if you already have your date set up. So to dig deeper in this in the becoming you
Well, I don't have my date set up, but I do have a website.
okay.
So if anybody's looking to be coach, because I'm only taking a few people because I am busy, but I would love to help you out and hold you accountable. I have a website. It's lancelottheobald.com. LancelotTheobald.com. Set up an appointment and let's talk and let me help you out. And understand another thing. I am continuing to grow myself. I am a work in progress. I am destined for greatness. All right. So I work on it every single day. And I'm looking to take whoever is looking to be great. Let's go together, baby. Because I'm not stopping until I die. Because I know what it is that I'm supposed to do. And now I'm living in my purpose. And see, acting is to be the best that I can be as an actor to show people. Listen, this is how you do it. You stay consistent. As long as you can be like water, like a stream of water that never stops flowing. You get 1% better each and every day. And you don't let anybody stand in your way. And I still maintain my relationships with everyone, but I still work on myself. And it's 24 hours in a day. So I take 3:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning to work on me every single day. The transformational blueprint. That's what they call it.
You don't look bad. Well, this has been wonderful. We have 1 minute left. Is there anything else that you will like to drop some nuggets before we get kicked out?
Um,
Remember to stop.
Well, first, again, I want to thank Raquel. I want to thank you so much for stepping in and helping out because I would have been a complete flusterfuck because this makes me nervous anyway. So to not be able to do something, I'd have been all nervous and I probably wouldn't have been able to speak correctly. So thank you very much, Raquel. I really appreciate you. Her and I know each other very well. We met at an event where I met like-minded people and it blew my mind. And her and I have been connected ever since because we all are trying to do the same thing. And that's to help others be the best that they could possibly be. Get around people like that. I'm telling you, proximity is power. Vibrational energy, frequency. We're made up of electrical impulses. And when you get around people, oh shoot, people like-minded, that vibration is unbelievable. Trust me when I tell you.
Yes.
Trust me when I tell you.
So
All
good.
right.
So good. I'm going to stop the recording and we'll see you on the other side.